Okay, so good evening, everyone. Uh, Today we are gonna basically discuss about materials because some of you actually asked for it, and I actually asked Orintho to discuss on this. I think he told you a pretty brief about it, and I'm not sure. So, anyways, today we're gonna discuss in a bit details and see this thing of selecting proper material for your interior designing project or an architecture project. It depends because the availability of local materials. I can tell you a number of materials that you can use. I can provide you a list as well with some price which will have a pretty good range. It can vary actually, so I can provide you that. But the thing is that the project where it is going to be like this location where the building is going to be constructed, it depends on that particular area, because depending on the area, the availability of local materials, whether that particular type of plywood which you are looking for is available in the near market or not, you have to cross check for that. Okay, otherwise what will happen, you will design something and something else should be executed. And in most of the cases, in interior designing project, architect is the person who has his own team, which team is going to execute that particular design. So in that case, the architect or the interior designer is the decision maker, which particular material will be used. And you have, if you are an interior design or if you are handling any interior designing project, you have to purchase that material on your own. So you need to have a pretty good idea about what are the materials available in the local markets, the project where it is going to be built. But still, there are some materials which are generally more or less available in every region of, in major cities and all those things, not in very distant locations and all that. But it depends. For example, if you go towards Rajasthan and that part of India, that in that part of India, the variety of marbles, granites is huge. There are different in numbers of varieties of granite and marbles and stones, all those things. You cannot imagine, even you haven't heard of those different varieties and categories. And if you go to other places, maybe there are some different kinds of materials are available, which is only specific for that particular area only. So it depends, and also the cost also depends, because most of the granites and marbles, all those materials are produced in Rajasthan only. So for that reason, what happens that the price of the material actually varies, and also the availability of the material also varies. And to know the best, you need to like dive into the market. You need to go to the shops, ask the price, collect the price, all those things. But for right now, for starting, what you can do, you can use the internet. You can collect the price of different materials from internet. And when I'm talking about internet, you cannot just search like that what is the price of granite, marble, stone. It will give you a very vast range. Okay, and the price will vary from place to place. But what can be fixed price, what can be very less variable, the branded materials. For example, if you are choosing any kind of tiles which is of a particular brand, you can get a fixed price from the internet as well. For that, you don't need to visit the market. But at the same time also, if your client budget is very low, he doesn't want to spend so much on the tiles. In that case, what will happen, you have to have the knowledge of the local market. What are the local materials that are available in that particular area? So those are your part, how you are gonna research on the market. But I'm gonna share with you how you can search the branded content and the more or less the general available plywoods and materials and etc. So let me and also I don't think many people are present today, but I have a special announcement at the end of the session. So let's wait for that. So is the screen visible? Hello.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay. So I have collected the local, I'd not say local red, but actually this is based on, this is a branded product of Mayur. You might be knowing it. Mayur is a brand of the plywoods. So starting from the plywoods, basically, there are different categories of plywood, and you need to know that for while you are like giving the specifications of your maybe the wardrobe, the cupboard, or the bed, whatever you are designing as an interior designer, you need to provide the material specification, which material is going to be used in how much amount. So that will help you to estimate and to make the estimation chart and to come up with a budget for the materials. So in that case, I have collected some local rates, and which looks something like this. There is a this is very popular Mayur plywood basically. So this is known, they call it as boiling waterproof basically. Okay, and this comes in various thicknesses like 6 mm, 12 mm, 19 mm, 30 mm. There are wide range of varieties of this, and according to that, these are the prices per square feet. You will, in most of the cases, in for plywoods, you will get the price as this much amount, price X per square feet. So you need to calculate the square feet area that you gonna use in the design, or that is gonna be built in the design. Let's suppose you have made a bed whose dimension is let's say X feet by Y feet. So in that case, you will calculate how much amount of plywood is going to be used, okay, in which part of the beds and all that. And also at the end, you need to consider some extra. Let's say in these cases, maybe 10 to 20% extra you need to consider. Okay, and that's how you, because that is for considering the wastages, because obviously there will be some wastages and all those things. So in that case, you need to consider the wastage also. And if you are dealing with the materials on your own, like you are the one who is going to purchase the material and execute the work, like with your help of your team. So in that case, you have to estimate in such a way that how can you like save the materials in, or how can you make your design that much optimized that it consumes less material, and at the same time you don't have to waste a bigger piece of plywood, because this plywood comes in a bigger size. And if you cut something from, let's suppose you are cutting a triangle from that particular plywood, okay, so most of the other parts of the plywood will be wasted. So you need to have a experience and try different shapes and different design alternatives to utilize the material more, and to make less wastage. Okay, so this is one kind of quality of Mayur, which comes with this different thickness and these rates. And you can also check for these thicknesses in their website. Like Mayur is one of the very popular brand when it comes to plywoods. Then there is Green Ply, and then there comes this for cabinets, almiras, door partitions, roofing, fencing, different purposes. These kinds of this Mayur boiling waterproof plywood is used. Then comes this Mayur Ultra, which is a different quality, and it also comes with 6 mm, 12 mm, 19 mm thicknesses, and having their own prices. Okay, I will share this particular doc file with you. Don't worry about that. But this is also, I haven't collected this from internet. I'm talking about the local market rate in my area. And more or less, in case of these branding products, like branded products, it will be same more or less. Maybe the depending on the vendor, it will vary from 1 to 2 rupees per square feet. Maybe in your place it is 45 rupees or maybe 50 rupees. That's all. But more or less it will be same. Okay, and this. I'm sorry. This kind of products generally they have a very fixed price and marginal, limits, so it will not vary that much. But in case of very local materials and local plywoods, not so much popular or not so much branded plywoods, the price will be very much less from this, and at the same time, it will vary from place to place by a huge range. So I cannot quote the price of those kinds of plywood because it will vary up in a huge range, and at the same time it is not very feasible or not very clever to use using those kind of particular plywoods. You always consider branded products, and depending on that, you can say to the client that, see, sir, these are the materials I have used, and you can reduce the cost by using different kinds of material, like the local material, etc., etc. Those are also available. But if you at least consider branded materials, and you want to maintain a particular standard for this quality, you need to follow, like you need to consider these materials. You can provide him a list. And then also this Mayur Ultra is for the basically the interior parts, because you can see the boiling waterproof plywood that is completely waterproof. That's why those are used in exterior parts of the building. Okay, and this Mayur Ultra is basically used for the interior part, but for the heavy furnitures and all those things. For example, the household and office interiors, table, chairs, all sorts of furnitures, the partition walls and panel walks, all those things. And these are also available in the. I'm talking about the whole plywood size, because it is not available in small pieces. Obviously, it will come with a huge size of 8 feet by 4 feet, or maybe 8 feet by 3 feet, 7 feet by 4 feet, 7 feet by 3 feet, in different sizes. Different sizes are available, and different sizes have different price. So according to your use, how lengthy your cupboard would be, or how lengthy your almirah will be, depending on that you have to select the size of the plywood. And always you should keep in mind that how you can reduce the wastage, and depending on that you have to choose the size of the plywood. Maybe the thickness is, you have already determined that you will use 6 mm thickness for the cupboard, let's say, but you also need to choose the size, how big you are gonna purchase that ply. Okay, that will depend how you have designed it. Then come the block boards. Basically, this is a 2-layer thing. Obviously, if you visit a nearby, this hardware store, or in hardware store, you'll get these kinds of plywoods and all sorts of things. Or maybe in tiles shops and all those things, they will also have the details, and they will tell you the technical details of what are the benefits of different types of materials. Okay, so this is also available in thickness of 19 mm. This is a bit not waterproof that much, but it is used for different purposes. Like this is more prone to water damage, as it can retain moisture. As you can see also from the image, it has 2 layers of ply, and in between that it is having some kind of material which is obviously made out of wood, but it is not that much water resistance. Okay, so this is stiffer than plywood because it is a sandwiched panel kind of thing, but also it is less prone to bending. Okay, not like the plywood, but dimensionally stable and can withstand cracking. But unlike plywood, it does not split on cutting. Okay, as you can also understand that if you have observed that when you are cutting a plywood, it sometimes splits if you don't cut it properly with a proper cutting device. So this is actually easy to use from that point of view, but obviously it is very prone to damage by water. Okay, then coming to this next one, that is the century ply. Okay, century ply with medium grade, that comes in different thicknesses like 6 mm, 12 mm, 19 mm, with the respective prices given here. Coming to the next one, that is the inner mica. For that purpose, what you can use, mica, the sun micas. I'm talking about the sun micas. There are different wide range of sun micas. You just go to Google and search on green ply, or Mayur doesn't produces sun mica, I think, but there are different very well known and popular brands on sun micas. You can search. You will have PDFs uploaded on the website. Okay, I'll also show you, don't worry. So these are the thicknesses of the sunmicas, and these sunmicas are available in sheets. like 8 feet by 4 feet size seat, and it is having these different kinds of texture. And what is the most important thing is that these are having this kind of price. Like these are three qualities which is having a price of 1200 rupees. 1200 rupees, that means 8 feet by 4 feet sized seat you will get, a Sanmaika seat, that will cost you 1200 rupees. Okay, then these are different textures. It is having 1400 rupees price. These are also different materials having 1800, and it also depends like the the smoothness, the roughness texture, the glossiness of that particular texture. It depends, and depending on that, it is having different kinds of prices. Okay, and generally Sanmaikas are waterproof, but what happens? Sanmaika is basically kind of that is a very laminated kind of thing. So obviously it is waterproof. But the thing is that the joint between the Sanmaika and the plywood, the adhesives are used like araldite, dendrite, and all those things. Fevicol sometimes also. So that particular joint, that is not waterproof. So what happens? Sanmaikas can withstand water, obviously, but the joints are prone to like attack by water. And what happens? The layers get separated if not done properly. All those things. And also in some cases, what happens? There are different Sanmaikas available in the market, which is having a very thin layer of plywood kind of thing beneath it, and which is susceptible to, prone to damage by water. And because of that, what happens? The upper layer of the Sanmaika, that is not getting affected by water, but the layer beneath it, that gets affected. So I'm not going too much into technical details. If you visit any shop, they will give you a very brief and very detailed analysis and all those things about materials, and you need to know those things, because what the client is, the client needs a kind of solution that I need something like this. I need a kitchen which the top board should be waterproof and all those things. So in that case, you have to obviously listen to the client. And how can you suggest him something? You have to have those technical knowledge about this kind of materials. And also, when I'm talking about different kinds of furniture, it is also very like a good option is that you can refer to branded furniture sites as well. Like obviously, as an interior designer, you will like look for different kinds of materials. Like you'll try to design the furnitures on your own. That is completely fine. But at the same time, like the budget is very low, you need to like finish it very quickly and suggest something to the client, but because it depends on the project, right? So in that case, what you can do, you can suggesting some existing furnitures. Like you can go to like I'll tell you some websites. Is the screen visible? Google. Hello.
No, sir.
Just a second. Is it visible now?
Yes, yes.
So you can search like godrejinterior.com. Okay. So in Godrej Interior, you will get a number of branded varieties of product, like starting from bed, table, chair, sofas, and all those things. And then you can also there is mobile furniture. Mobile furniture I'm talking about because the people who are like from West Bengal and Bhubaneswar, this mobile furniture has a great business area in the eastern part of the India only. It is not available in other parts of India, but in this place they provide very good quality of furniture with a very reasonable price. Okay, but they are very premium and branded also. So not model, sorry, I mean to say mobile, MOBEL. Okay, so you can also visit their website like mobilehomestore.com. And then obviously you have IKEA. They provide very premium sorts of furnitures and all those things. They're like the top cadre sellers in this particular interior designing sector. So you can visit IKEA.com, and for India, I think they are having another website like IKEA.in. Yeah. So you can access to the different furnitures, and you can obviously, they have their own interior designers who design different furnitures for them. So they are the specialist, like when it comes to interior design, right? And they have their own product designers like this. They design these things. So obviously, the people who are working in IKEA, they're having a great knowledge and experience in this field. So you can refer to their furnitures and other things. And if you ever come across any kind of client who is having a decent amount of budget and who have a good quality choice, obviously you can refer him some furnitures from IKEA. Okay, like you can simply also visit the website and refer to different products they design actually, and they are very standards and premium quality products. So IKEA is a very good option for the clients who are having very huge amount of budget. And apart from that, obviously you can design it on your own. But in that case, what happens when you are designing a furniture or any kind of product on your own, you have to provide the dimensions, the technical specifications. Like if you are designing a sofa, what kind of wood is to be used, or whether it is a steel sofa, what are the different members, then what is the quality of the cushion, then what are the type of clothing material. Because when it comes to sofa, the ultimate thing people look for is the texture of the upper layer. Maybe it may be of different kinds of wood, what can I say, like a kind of a very smooth textured cloth, because different kinds of texture is also available. If you visit any Godrej interior designing store, like they are having their own catalogs, well, where they will show you real textures and all those things. Like you can see them, like you use them with your hand and feel the texture, and you can select them. So in that case, it works. And if you are really going to deep, if you really want to go deep down to this field, okay, this freelancing field, you have to visit these stores on your own, because then only you will have a proper idea. Because not only design matters, but at the same time, alongside the design, the feasibility, practical feasibility, where your design is really implementable or not. That is the most important thing. Or else what will happen, for your own portfolio you can design anything. Okay, you can design n numbers of design, depending on your imagination and all those things. But until unless your design is getting implemented, your design has no value, because you are not designing for your bachelor's degree project or your master's degree project or your some kind of competition. You are going to design it for real, so that it is practically feasible and at the same time practically implementable. And in most of the cases, what happens, the interior designer or the architect or the engineers also, they some kinds of out of creativity, they create very unique products and all those things. But at the same time, you also have to say how that product is going to be manufactured. If it is a sofa or table, you have to provide the proper dimension, the material, how it is going to be cut, in which angle, what is the length, what is the weight, everything, each and every details. That is one thing. And another option is this: you can refer to any branded sites like IKEA, Godrej Interior, or Mobile, or many different brands are also available in India. You can search on Google and you can refer to them to have that particular furniture for you. Okay, so these are like the wooden plywoods, textures and furnitures and all those things. Then I'm gonna share with you something about the tiles. When I'm talking about tiles, I'm suggesting you the best available tiles in India. Kajaria. I think you might also have heard about this brand, because Kajaria tiles is something which is available in each part of this country. Okay, because there are many premium kinds of tiles, there are many local tiles, but Kajaria is something which is from the premium cadre, but at the same time it is very locally available. So it has a wide different branches in different parts of this India. Even in small cities, it is also easily available, and people consider Kajaria as a very good brand. So you can simply go to Kajaria's website, okay, and then there you will be able to download the different brochures. I've already downloaded them. I'll show you. The internet is a bit slow. Okay, so if you go to Kajaria's site, you'll have go to products, you'll have the wall tiles, floor tiles, okay, and they have like categorized it, so you will not have to face so much of difficulty in selecting different tiles. Okay, like they are having bathroom wall tiles, kitchen wall tiles, outdoor tiles, living room, bedroom, wall tile for commercial spaces. Then talking about floor tiles, they have the living room floor tiles. Okay, and also they have categorized it in terms of quality, like glazed, very vertified tiles, then ceramic tiles, polished vertified tiles. You click any one of them, and then you can download the PDF. And I have already downloaded the PDF. You can download them from here as well. Okay, then I have already downloaded the. Is it visible? Okay, so these are the tiles catalog I have downloaded. Like if you open any one of them, you'll see they have provided this kind of index and also with proper images. So what happens that why I'm like talking so much about Kajaria is because first of all it is very locally available. Okay, it is available in almost all the parts of India. So if you are designing something with a Kajaria reference, obviously the client will be able to purchase it from the local market and implement it. And at the same time, they are having beautiful catalogs, so that will also help you in design. Okay, these kinds of catalogs they are providing, and not only catalogs, in the underneath the catalog like image, you can also see the name, like the black pearl 18 to 80 centimeter, the dimension of the tiles. So you are having the dimension, you are having the name of the tiles, so you can easily estimate and provide the client that this much of tiles you'll be requiring to cover the bedroom area or the living room area. Okay, then they are having different kinds of this, like a polished high gloss. Okay, a lot of things. And what is the very like why have I downloaded all this tiles catalog? Why? The reason is that when you are going to design in SketchUp, you can easily take a screenshot from this, like with the snipping tool, or from a like with the snipping tool you can easily crop this, and you can save it as JPG. Okay, capture, save it as a JPG file, and then you can simply import it into SketchUp, and you can actually apply this to the floor you are creating in SketchUp. So that is the fun part. You are actually applying realistic material, or maybe the client is desiring some kind of not polished. Let's say the client has a test of using vertified tiles, or maybe the client is requiring some kind of those Italian marble styles and all those things. So in that case, you can simply search from the net and download a catalog or an image. And also, for example, let's take this example of vertified tiles. Okay, let's say the client have a choice, a bit test that I want some kind of vertified tiles to use on my floors. In you have you almost like have observed it in most of the office areas and spaces. They use this kind of vertified tile. So you can simply open this catalog, and with the help of this snipping tool, you can crop a certain portion and save it as JPG. And you can easily import that particular JPG image into SketchUp. Okay, and you can apply that to your floor. So basically, you are designing the entire model using the particular type of tile that the client has chosen. So what happens when you will be dealing with the client in the first meeting? Maybe no, I'll not suggest you to do this in the first meeting, but in the second meeting, when you are finalized with the plan. Okay, when you are like moving to 3D modeling, before that you'll be having a meeting with the client, where you'll be discussing the plan and finalizing the plan. In that meeting, you bring these kinds of PDFs, these kinds of tile samples, and you ask the client that, sir, please choose like which category of tiles you are gonna use, or you would like to use. And if he tells you at that moment, and you can easily apply that particular tile into your model, And why I'm telling you this, that because then your model will be having a better chance of acceptance, because the people, he has a particular sort of choice of tiles and you are applying that tiles in the model. So obviously he's anyway gonna like the design, because the design consists of his liking elements. That's what I'm talking about. So you can use these PDFs for this purpose, and you can easily download it from this Kajaria site. Okay, I have downloaded all of them. You can also download it, or I have also downloaded. I can share with you as well. So you can see different sort of wall tiles, floor tiles, and everything is provided here. You can easily take them. They are having their numbers. You can easily call them, the Kajaria customer helpline, and ask them, sir, what is the price of K7044? Okay, so he will ask you your location, he will ask you the amount of tiles you are going to purchase, and based on that, he will send you a quotation or a rough price. And you can also visit nearby stores as well to ask them this price. So that's how you can use practical real materials into your design. And I'll also always suggest you to use practical materials, because your design should be implementable, should be practical. It shouldn't be hypothetical, or else there is no value of this internship, and obviously there is no value of your design as well. Okay, so these are the thing. This is how you can refer to different kinds of tiles. Okay, so yeah, pretty much that. These are the different tiles available, and not only this, you can search anything. Like for example, let's say you are looking for some wooden floor. Okay, so what happens, maybe you will be getting the different sorts of plywoods. Okay, and even if you don't get different plywood textures, you can easily search on Google like wooden floor or wooden floor texture, to be more precise. Okay, so these kinds of 2D top views will come, and you can easily save any of this image and import it in SketchUp to use as a floor. Or maybe if you want to use this kind of texture in the wall, partition wall, or anywhere, not only this wooden texture float, let's say tiles as well, you can search also. Then you can also search like jali. See different kinds of jali patterns, but obviously you cannot provide jali as a texture, right? But you can get the jali design ideas. You can also get what are the different elements, like wood, there are steel jalis, there are cemented jalis, there are GI sheet jalis, and I'll also talk about jali. Yeah, I have prepared that as well. Yeah, so talking about facade and jalis, so this is I have written a price, but this is not very accurate because it depends. It depends, completely depends on different things. Okay, for example, glass facade price 450 rupees per square feet. This is a very basic price, like any glass panel having a width of 2 mm or 3 mm, it will cost you around 400 to 450, 500, that thing. So depending on that, maybe there are different kinds of designs on the glass facade. Okay, and also it will also the labor charge will be included to this, to shape, to cut the glass. And not every glass is cuttable. Some glasses are there, if you cut them it will break. So you need to know that thing as well. And the hardware store, they will give you best knowledge on it. So you need to step out from your home and to to do a market research on that. Just you can simply, when you go on and walk on an evening, just simply visit the nearby stores and ask them. Keep a diary and pen with you and just note the things. You'll get very different and very practical ideas about materials, and it will also improve your design as well. Okay, so I have written a very lump sum value. Like for glass facades, it will cost you around 450 to 500 to 600 to 800 rupees even per square feet. Then for wooden cladding, it depends, around 300 rupees per square feet. Okay. Then if you talk about gypsum wall cladding, it will cost you around 450 rupees, and also even more than that. Okay. Then there are different kinds of mesh facade, which is typically depends on the design, on the elements members you will be using, and depending on that it will cost you around something 400, 500, 600 like that. Okay. Then you can also use aluminum composite cladding. Okay, 155 rupees per square feet. These are very common and used materials you'll be observing in kind of building of facades. Then there are different decorative GRC claddings like the glass fiber reinforced concrete. Okay, this is one GRC cladding, and also there are cemented jalis that Ma'am was talking about in the sorry, in the earlier class. So these are used in different even in modern architecture also these are used. This kind of thing adds a bit of ancient and very ethnic design to your ethnicity to your design. So these are different available options which you can use, and these are very pretty rough prices, because facade price and jali, all those things, it depends on the material, depends on the people who is manufacturing it. Okay, and let's say suppose this kind of particular thing is getting manufactured in Kolkata, and you are living in Mumbai and you are importing it from Kolkata. Obviously it will cost you more than the architect who is designing it and implementing it in Kolkata, obviously, right? So that depends, and I'll share this file with you, don't worry. So these are pretty much about the different elements, and obviously try to have a huge collection. Like I always prefer to make my own collection. So you visit different stores, try to convince them to like take their catalogs. Physical catalogs are even more better to go to a client meeting and convince the client. And obviously for your design purpose you need to have a PDF or some kind of software soft copy of that particular file, so you can use that in SketchUp. Okay, so that is how you can use your design. Okay, then if I talk about different materials, as I already told you, like how you can import them to your SketchUp and use them. Then also not only about the interior, but talking about the exterior, you can use these kinds of like float tiles, okay, for exterior. These kinds of texture. I think this is made out of brick only, but also there are different texture tiles are also available for exterior, for your exterior building. Okay, and they have also provided like different technical specification in this brochure as well. Like what are the technical different specifications? Then so these are pretty much the different tile options you can use. So always try to, like, not only Casaria, obviously you can refer to some Italian marble styles and all those things to use in your design. Like have a huge, like make your own collection, make different separate folders for tiles, for plywoods and different things, for textures. Like make a, I'll also share this thing with you, like make a folder like called materials, and have different materials in that folder to use it in your design for SketchUp and also other things. Like have some different interior designing ideas, download some photos, start doing with like by taking inspiration from existing designs. Okay, so in that way you can generate some idea, and once you are a good observer, like you are good at observing different things, you can obviously create new things. Okay, you need to study, like don't just like simply download an image and start copying it. Just like for example, look at this image. Is it visible? Yeah. So look at this image, like study it. What is the design philosophy? What maybe the architect have thought before designing this? If you closely look at this, this is kind of a library. Okay, this is the top floor of a library. You can see these are the bookshelves. If you closely look at it, these are bookshelves. Okay, See, these are the book shelves. So how it is looking very nice. It is the same wooden element is continuing as a truss or as a roofing thing. So you can sit on them as well and read and start reading the books. So it is coming under interior design obviously, but it how it fulfills the both the criteria. Like it obviously gives a aesthetic look. It is fulfilling the criteria of a chair. Like you can use them to sit around and to read the books, and at the same time they are being used as a bookshelf. So try to think about that these are the points that the interior designer might have been kept in his mind to come up with this kind of solution. So I can also think like that, right? And maybe you'll then come up with some different ideas, but if you simply copy it, you can only create this one but not the next one. Okay, so you need to think like that. You always need to dig deeper and understand the architect or the designer's mind, what he might have thought behind that. So yeah, pretty much that, and that is how you can actually create the different designs and materials. And also I'll share you this with you, like you can show a plan or something like this as very corner or a section of your drawing and show the details like this, like using Photoshop or any other photo editing tool. You can do this, like you will show the plan in the center and with some lines with a magnifying version or like zoom it and like so that this is the material that you can use here, this is the material that is going to be used here, like this brick and normal concrete. So this is how you can show the technical details, and at the same time you can use like black rubber on the uncoated alternative, so the technical details and the maybe the dimension and all those things. So this is how you can show or represent the material specification to your client. For suppose if you are only assigned to design a cupboard, okay, so in that case what you will do, you will obviously design the cupboard in the 3D modeling software, render it, take the picture and put it in the center, and like then use these bubbles to show like this is this kind of Sanmaika, this is this kind of plywood, these are these kinds of adhesive that are being used, these are these colors, the color is named as this. So that's how you can show the different technicalities of that product. Or maybe if you are showing it for a room interior, you can also show it represented in this way. So was it pretty much clear? Have you got like what you actually asked? Who actually asked? I think Pritika,
Yes.
Shuyasha. Yeah. Have you got a pretty much like idea about like how to work with materials?
Yes,
Okay. That's
however, so what kind of materials can be used for the facade? Usually, I get very confused while designing the facade.
see
Like the
there are
modern type of textiles that we
See,
see.
there are, yeah, I can understand. See, before you go to the very designing stage, I'll first tell you to first decide. Okay. For example, if you are designing a facade very long, just imagine there is a facade which is continuing from the ground floor to the top floor. Let's say you are designing a facade for the staircase room, right? So obviously it will continue from the ground floor to the very top floor, the roof. So first you see whether it is connected with the wall, how it is connected with the wall, can it be supported or is it unsupported? Okay, then you look for the thing. If it is supported, then it is fine. You can use heavy materials like this GRC, cladding I talked about. Then there is different kinds of cement jalis as well. Then there is concrete jalis as well. Okay, like there will be small rebars like reinforcement into it. Like what is reinforcement? Okay, so that's how you can decide. And if you see that no, there is not that much kind of support, so you should go for lightweight materials. Let's say lightweight concrete jalis are also available, lightweight cemented jalis are available. Then the very thin plywood jalis are available. And Obviously you can use lightweight wooden materials as well. So it depends, and always prefer to simply Google it. Like Google it, like different, if you spend at least 2 to 3 days on internet, obviously you will have a huge collection of different materials depending on jalis. But what is the most important thing before going to before diving into Google, you should first decide that how I'm going to use that particular material. If that particular material is going to be used in a place where the entire thing is very much unsupported, okay, so in that case you have to choose for lightweight materials. You have to look for lightweight materials. You can see there are, for example, if you are designing for a cladding or a false ceiling, so in that case what will happen, you need to obviously choose for some lightweight materials. Okay, you cannot choose very heavy, you cannot choose some kind of marbles on false ceiling, right? That is very common sense. So that is the thing. And at the same time, you cannot always choose marble for facades. Maybe you can see some marble works on facades, but obviously you must have also been notice that those facades are anyhow connected with the walls or maybe with the columns, or it is supported anyhow, because marble is a very huge thing and it is having a very huge weight. So you have to maintain something which will support the material. And if there is not much support is available, in that case you can go for different kinds of lightweight materials. And not only that, in some cases people also use heavy facades as a structure element. So this is something interesting. I can show you something, like it's on my Instagram. I'll share it within the group actually. So what actually happened, the architect, what he has done to give a aesthetic look to the building, he has used some steel materials. Okay, steel truss, I think, obviously. So he has used some steel trusses in the building to give it some abstract aesthetic. And at the same time, that particular the facade, or what do you say, that particular thing, truss thing, is obviously contributing to the structural component. That means that is also providing some kind of stability to the building. So this kind of thing can only come up in your mind when you are designing. At the same time, you are having a discussion with a structural engineer. You need to have his consultation and his ideas to implement that thing. But that is also a design. A structural engineer cannot alone design that, because generally a structural engineer is not that creative, and at the same time architecture is not that much technically sound like a structural engineer. So if both of them come up and combine, so this kind of beautiful thing can be created, which is aesthetically good looking, and at the same time it is also contributing to the stability of the structure. So that is the thing. That is how you need to choose. Okay, and in software, obviously you can design anything and apply any kind of material. But obviously, if you are designing something, like using Google is a very good and huge source, but at the same time, it is also very dangerous when it comes to learning, because you have to use very precise and like perfect keywords for that. If you are Googling something like what are the available materials for facade, you can come up with different options and all those things. But always, like I'll also show you to make it easier for you. And also I'll share with you a list tomorrow, because I have also already asked ma'am to prepare a list on these different materials, because it will be always beneficial for you as well. So you can refer that as well. So for example, if you want to search for that, like materials for heavy facades. See, color coated steel and aluminum. So steel and aluminum, they are having a huge strength. That's why they can be used as a very heavy heavy design facades. Like the facades, let's take example of facades which are very much unsupported. Let's take example of this This is not very much supported. See, those are only supported in these points only. So you need to understand that whether it is practically feasible or not. And at the same time, this happens with a number of meetings with the structural engineer. You will design something, structural engineer will tell you to do some modifications. You'll also like stick to your design and tell that no, I want this kind of design. And it happens. There are a lot of meetings are done on this. But obviously, wood, steel, aluminium, GI sheet, and this fiber kind of thing, then cemented jalis. These are very common and popular like materials. But obviously, the best way to come up with some unique designs is obviously to observe. You first observe something, like for example, if on the internet you some like on or Instagram or anywhere else, you come up with a new kind of design, you liked it, just save it and do some research on that, like who posted that particular image. Maybe he has mentioned the architect's name, visit the architect's profile, like you can directly ask him, or you can do more research on that, like search the name of the particular structure on internet, and like search what are the materials used in this type of structures. In that way you can learn more and more about it. So observation is a very important thing in this case to come up with some very good suitable materials, and that is the only thing. So I think pretty much you have a brief idea about what are the different materials you can use. And now I have something. I think how many people are there? Okay, 10 people are there. Okay, fine. So also a message will be put in the group. So I have something exciting which I'm going to announce right now. That is, obviously we have come to the very end of this internship. Tomorrow will be the last class. I'll share the material listing with you, and as well as tomorrow I'll be talking about some architectural representation techniques and all those things tomorrow. So, and we'll end this internship tomorrow. But before that, I have something for you. Like as you can see on the screen as well, take it as an assignment. This is not mandatory, but the people, like I'll tell you the technical specification, but the thing is we are planning of like conducting a competition kind of thing. Okay, so there will be an assignment for you. You have to make a 3D modeling of this particular building that you are seeing on the screen. Is the plan visible?
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
So whoever the people, the 18 people involved in this internship, you guys have to make a 3D modeling of this, not the interior thing. If you want to do the interior, that is completely onto you, but the assignment is to do only the exterior modeling and the detailing, like you can design the jalis, facades and anything. Okay, and you have to come up with a complete rendered image, and the best design among you all will get the best performer of this internship certificate. Obviously certificate will be provided to all the participants, and like whoever is enrolled in this internship. This is not mandatory, but the people who will be participating in this particular assignment, they will be awarded with a different extra certificate, you can say, and at the same time you will get the best design will get the title of best performer of this internship. At the same time, there will be some gift vouchers and gift coupons for you, and obviously an internship opportunity that we actually also talked about in the webinar, and in the poster also it was mentioned that there will be an internship opportunity. So yeah, this is pretty much it, and this is the assignment for you. And if I'm talking about the technical specification of this particular drawing, as you can see, this is basically a ground floor, and it will be a G+1 building. I will also provide you the technical details of this. It will be constructed in Indian environment, and let's say that the design of the building, it will be a modern building, but not so much very modern. What can I say? Like design it as a, let's say consider a client who is having a medium budget, not very too much low budget, but not very much higher budget. Because what happens when I say about lower budget, a lot of problems occur, like your design capabilities actually we restrict it with low budget. And at the same time, if I tell that you are having a very high range, high cutter, like high budget client, in that case you will like design anything. Okay, so the real taste is when you are designing it for a mediocre family, a client who is having a medium kind of budget. I'm not like specifying in kind of budget, but simply you can design it, use your own creativity, and let's see who comes up with what and how you do it. And if I talk about the plan, as you can see, this is one of our very old consultancy work. Actually, already we have done it, and we thought of this because the plan was really pretty good to show different architectural details. Okay, like if you look at the plan very closely, it is having different like number of bends, a bend here. Like you can imagine how you can use your creativity to design different sort of facades and jalis and all those things. That's why we like choose this plan to give you as an assignment. We are having a bedroom. I'll share the DWG file with you. Then two attached, like one attached toilet, one common toilet. This is the kitchen. Then the living room, another bedroom. There is a some kind of veranda, and in the first floor it will be a balcony where the AC, AC boxes will be kept. Then this is a SAPT. You know what a SAPT is? Okay. Then this is also another SAPT, and yeah, this is the staircase room, and this is a hall room kind of thing, and this is the entry. Okay. So this AutoCAD DWG file will be shared with you within the group. All the technical specification will be mentioned there as well. And the student who will come up with the best possible, with the design, with the best design, and the obviously, maybe that you don't have a very decent quality of system. I don't know whether you're having or not, but obviously there will be markings on it, and rendering matters obviously, but at the same time, even if people who are unable to do produce a good quality of rendering, at least you can use Inkscape in your SketchUp as well. That's the easiest way to render something, and you can come up with a decent quality. So let's see who comes up with what, and like any kind of doubt you are having regarding this assignment.
Sir, I have a doubt.
Yeah.
Sir, in the entrance part, that is a wall, right?
Yeah.
Where the door is, the red.
Yeah, this is a wall. This is a wall, and this is the complete open boundary. I mean, the white portion, whatever you are seeing, this is complete open, so you can use it as a garden or anything. The complete sheet, the area you are watching, that is the complete area, and these are all open spaces. Okay, so you can use them for gardening and decoration purpose. Don't worry about that. So, and you can like also show them as a lawn, but mainly focus on the building. Okay, so this is it pretty much. So yeah, again I'm like telling you, this is your assignment. There is no kind of like there is nothing like you have to do it, but obviously if you do it, there is something for you. Okay, a certificate, give vouchers and coupons, and at the same time, the best only one like out of you all will get the internship opportunity. So that's it pretty much. Thank you for joining today's session. And like if you have
Sir,
it,
when is the last day for submission? This
last
project?
day for submission, let's take it as I think 5 days should be enough for you. What do you think?
Sir, can you extend it?
Okay,
Actually,
1
we
week,
can-
but not more than that. Let's say let's like submit it within 4th of August or 5th of August. Okay, I'll share the details in the group. Don't worry. Like you'll have at least 5, 6, or 7 days for it.
If possible,
You don't
can
have to
you please?
do the interior, right? You have to only like the DWG file is already there. You have to extrude it and do the exterior detailing. So any doubts?
What if Enscape is not working in our system?
What events? I was actually thinking about you, Himanis only. That's why I told that see there, like we'll consider that. Don't worry about that. Even if your rendering is not that good or you are not unable to render, we can render it in our system. You can provide the SketchUp model actually, right? So don't worry about that. I understand that rendering might be a problem for many of you. So don't worry about that. Rendering is something which requires a good system only and a good software a platform. That's all. So we can do that for you as well. So don't worry about that. But let's see like who comes up with this. And yeah, so that is pretty much it. Like get on to it. The details will be shared with the group. And yeah, thank you for joining.
Thank you, sir.